Rip the stream. Oh, I thought he said rip the stream. I was like, what's happened? What happened to the stream? Okay, welcome back. This is going to be another viewer game analysis. A slightly different one as I'm starting to do these because people have requested, which are team analysis games. This one is actually the 5 Angry Hindus, which is a bunch of players that all hang out together who watch my stream quite regularly and like to play as a team. They're up against ELO Fishers in this scrim. I'm not going to talk about picks and bans in this one. It's only a 20-minute game. Going to see what we know about the game. I know it's a loss and the 5 Angry Hindus lose this one, but we'll talk about their team play and the mistakes that they make as a team, and go through them and try and have a little analyze over the whole game as a whole. The early one on this side I really do like the Thanatos and the Chang'e. They're looking for a level 1 play. I like this level 1 idea that they've got here. This is really, really smart. This is really smart. I like the call because you can try and steal away. Thanatos in the early game, pretty strong. Chang'e not so much though. What's Chang'e got online? Let's just have a little look. Chang'e doesn't have Hog, okay. Just seeing what they've got on the other side as well. We're going to see. They've got a ward here, so what can you see? You've got double hog to deal with. No, they've not got double hog. Ooh. Ooh, Fishy, you got greedy. Why's he not got hog? Okay, this is a really good call. Now that I've seen the wards placed here, so you've got full vision of these two, you realise there's only got one hog online for this composition. I don't know why Fisher's not got a hog. Because he went power pop. Oh, this is even better. Taste the treats. So, before we start, well, let's look through the melee matchups very quickly. It's Chang'e up against an Osiris. Osiris should realistically cause a lot of issues for Chang'e in the early stages, but Chang'e's a lot like, you should play like a warrior. She has some nice damage in that lane, but Osiris is going to be a big impact. It's going to be Ra in mid up against a, what is it? Can't really say, Kronos? No, it's not Kronos, is it? It's going to be against a Loki. So Ra versus Loki. Loki's in a whole world of trouble in this lane. Ra can just heal this lane up all the way through and constantly put the pressure on into this lane. So Ra should push this to tower consistently. Loki should get behind in terms of experience. It's going to be a tough lane for Loki to try and farm in and get the gold he needs to get his Heartseeker online. In the duo lane, we're going to see Neith and Sobek up against Kumba and Kronos. That's an interesting lane. Honestly, that's an interesting lane. I feel like Neith and Sobek should have a pretty good time of that. If they can get a pull onto Kronos, Kronos is in a whole world of trouble early on. The root plus the attack speed slows and the heals and the backflips cause a lot of issues for Kronos to really get out of the situation to get a pull early. It's going to be up to all you listening to try and get a good pull on Sobek to make this one work out and worthwhile. Oh my god, I didn't even see you. Ty did not even see that. That was lucky. So how long are we going to wait here? We waited way too long. Way too long on the invade. Really too long. But you're going to punish them. Good choice of targets for going for Fisher. Really good choice of targets. You should be able to pick up the kill here. Oh, no. No. Okay. So, your decision here, what it should have been was either go early and steal the buff and keep them at level 1, or your decision should have been kill off the Mercury. You had to do one of those two things. I would have probably gone with the kill Mercury, just because he had red pot and you knew he had red pot, and denying him that 400 gold, 450 gold, would have put him so far behind. You're going to be able to steal away the buff anyway, which puts them ahead. The problem is Mercury didn't go back to base. How the hell did he get the push on? How did he get the push on? 1 second. What took so long? Oh, he only did back camp, so they just did back someone to mid. Okay, that's how we got the push on. That's fine. I was a bit confused by that. They didn't do the red buff, they just did the push. What should you realise from this situation, though, in this right now? You should know that he's not got red buff. You should know that they've not got red buff. What does that tell you? Red buff is still up, boys. Warning sign should be up right now saying red buff is up. What are we doing here? What is Jals doing here? Jals should not be here right now. He should know Mercury was in mid lane and he rotated to the left hand side. If he's looking to steal back camps, is it really worthwhile? No. What should he be doing? He should be going back, dropping this blue buff, giving it over to Math, and then dropping the speed buff for himself and getting himself clearing his full jungle out. There's no reason for him to go invading here. Is it worth for one camp of experience when you can get blue buff, speed buff, back harpies, rotate left lane, possibly gank? That's the question on your lips right now. Should you really be going for this camp? No. Mercury's ganking left. A lot of pressure in this left-hand lane. Thanatos did back harpies, and now he's going to rotate for his own speed buff. They're going to gank on mid lane. And he's dead. So, when we watch this little replay back, we'll watch it again, just so you understand. This call right now to go to this area, this influences the game in multitudes of reasons. They just pinged you to show that where you were leaving to. So you probably have a feeling that you're at back harpies. If you would have done blue right now, you would have gone straight to your blue, drop the blue, give that one to Chang'e. Then you would have been on your speed buff. And you would have been on your speed buff. Now, you would have been on your speed buff. Okay? The reason I can work that out is by how long it took you to take them down. That would have taken you the same amount of time to travel to there, and then rotate to the camp. You would have just started your speed buff now. Now. Would speed buff be dead by now? Let's check out if you've still got Hog available. You didn't start Hog. You probably speed buff would be looking to drop down. Chair would be probably rotating from mid lane here to pick this buff up. Instead, he's not doing, and now you're starting speed buff. Can you now influence this fight? No. Could you have influenced the fight if you would have dropped the speed buff and come through the blue to the speed? Yes. Could you have come here and caused some issues, maybe got a kill, maybe turn this fight around? Yes. In the end, you sit doing your speed buff, and Ra goes down. Now you drop the blue buff, you come back on yourself again. You do get a kill on that side, which is fine. Why are you both back in there? Why don't you just do blue? Why don't we just do blue first of all? I guess you want to get back from mid-harpies, but it's too late for mid-harpies. You can lose them both anyway. Sobek, you should have rotated early. Where was Sobek? Let's have a little look at Sobek. Sobek stays in lane 210. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for here? Why is Sobek waiting here so long? There's no reason for Sobek to wait here. He should have rotated right now. There's no reason for him to see. He saw Kumba leave. He should not still be here. I know he's behind. There's two options. You either rotate or you farm and push this wave in. You don't do both. You are only level 3. I'm okay with the call for you to stay in lane and farm. But you don't. You choose to leave and you don't even get the farm. That's even worse. Like you lose yourself experience because you're not going to get to mid-harpies in time. Kumba's already left. You're 2 levels behind this Kumba as well. You should have stayed in lane and farmed. Should have stayed in lane and farmed. If you were going to rotate, you should have been earlier, but you should have stayed in lane and farmed. You may get rights here, but at what cost? At what cost? Chase into the jungle. Good rotation from Maft out for that, but you should know he's coming in as well. What are you two doing in mid? You're trying to kill Loki. All in on Loki. This call should be to disengage, which it is. Oh, you nearly get him. Don't chase anymore. Jalz probably can, but he's not got ult yet. Because he's still not 5. He would be 5 if he cleared his whole goddamn jungle before he ganked. You're still fighting? Look what you're fighting. Look what you're fighting right now. Just take into account what you're fighting. Do you have ultimates available? No. No ultimate. No ultimate. Level 4. You're against a level 5, level 6. Does Kumba have ultimate? Yes. Does Typhlosion have ultimate? Yes. Is this a good fight? No. What are we fighting for? Why did Jalz go in? Why did you try and fight? Not a good fight, not a good decision to fight. Jalz, you should still be farming, you're still not level 5. Come to your back harpies, go, go, go. Or blue buff, which has still not been done. Now the problem with doing your blue buff so late in this engagement means that now for the sustain to continue in this lane, Typhlo's going to have sustain a little bit sooner, and Mass is going to drop off a little bit more. So you're either going to have to invade this blue buff to make it worthwhile. You should have timers on speed, you've got timers on blue. Are you looking for the steal? Possibly. Are you level 5 yet? No. Why are you not level 5 yet? Because you messed up. Why are you not 5? Did you not get 5 off that blue? Or did he steal it? You got blue buff, okay. You're invading as level 4. This is not a good call. What's happening left hand side while we're looking at this as well? That should cause 2v1 on you. Because Sobek's still only level 4. The invasion was not a good idea, Jalz, when you're only level 4, buddy. So, when we check in with golden experience, you can see there's about 1,000 gold lead, 1,000 experience lead. Why is there 1,000 gold lead and 1,000 experience lead? You invaded the speed buff, you didn't get the speed buff, you stole away the blue buff. But what did they do in response? Mercury didn't go back to base, he farmed mid lane, he ganked left hand side. He then ganked mid lane and got a kill as well. They then got left hand harpies and continued the pressure. And I think they got rights as well, I'm guessing. They must have got rights as well.
Get set. A beautiful.
Checking builds. Hellseekers, sorry, Devour's gone also online now. Just going again. What are you doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? We're looking for a kill, I guess, now. Okay, but what should you know then? If that happens, will there be a rotation coming in? This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Always this way in these situations. The reason it's always this way, you've got minions in tower range. You should have walked straight back to tower. You shouldn't have farmed the minions there. Should have got back out, got to your teammate as quick as possible. You had red buff up as well on this side, and you've got harpies up here. The red buff should be dropped soon. Chair, you need to push out this mid lane and look for the rotation earlier. The problem is that Heartseeker's already online for Loki, because his early game got good, because he got a big rotation in the gank. Jels dies on the right, which means that that whole gank potential is now nullified, which isn't a good thing. Sobek's not having a good game at the moment. You've not been aggressive enough with the Sobek. Look, notice the situation, right? Kumba started with Vanguard. Why did he start with Vanguard? Because he expects a big fight situation in this lane. He's expecting you guys to fight. You went for Watchers at the start of this game? By going for Watchers on Sobek, it means that you're looking to farm and play safe. Are these two really going to farm and play safe as a Kumbhakana and a Kronos? No! No. Should you have gone Vanguard? Yeah. You should have been Vanguard in this situation. You should have been looking for the flips, trying to pick Kronos off like we were saying at the start of the game. That's what the game should have been about. Try and catch Kronos out of position and get him flipped into the team and pick him up. So you should have been looking for that with Sobek, not going for Watcher's Gift and the safety option. Now that you've gone for the safety option, they're the ones that are now abusing the lane situation because you went for the safe and they're more tankier than you. Obviously with Kumba being able to just tank tower shots if required, and he's got the Vanguard online and can basically ignore the minions too. Support just died. Mid Harpies are coming up. Chair just backed when Mid Harpies were up. You just back when Mid Harpies are up. What time are Mid Harpies spawning, boys? Every 3 minutes. When does the first one spawn? 3 minutes. When does the second one spawn? Between 6:10 and 6:20. 6:15 on that side. Should be 6:20 on this side. Oh, it's going to be slightly delayed because nobody did him for a little bit longer. 6:30 then? 6:25. Okay, 6:27. So, you lose both Mid Harpies, which puts you further behind on experience, even though you're behind on kills already. What happened to Chang'e?
Get set.
Oh, you died. Okay. You get ganked. Then they rotate mid. They kill Jaltz again because he was there alone on the Harpies. Sobek's still trying to help out Neath. Okay, in the situation of Sobek right now, you need to just give up this lane. You've got to get out of this lane and get some experience for Neath online. So you have to just leave this lane, start warding up, start rotating mid lane, stealing from mid lane. Mid lane's currently behind a little bit in this lane, but he's still able to farm safely. He's not got too much to worry about against the Loki. Loki can technically all in him, but at the same time you can clear the wave and rotate a lot more. Wall coverage is good around the Gold Fury, so you've got some sort of vision. I'm glad you see Sobek rotating. Jaltz, you're focusing a lot on Typhlosion on this side of the map, and Typhlosion should not be the thing you're looking for right now. It should be Loki. Why should it be Loki? Loki's got a Heartseeker online. Nullify his damage. It means he's got no wave clear. Causes a lot of issues for him. So nullifying Loki in the mid lane should be what you're looking for. Also, if you notice it as well, Getfish is technically behind because of the invasion early on, but he's not as far behind as you because you're still too busy trying to gank and not as busy farming and soaking experience from your lanes. You've got yourself too far behind. You're not useful. Look at that. You got poked and you had to use your ultimate to get out. And I think you're going to go back in and die there, which is what happens, I'm guessing. Yep. Now while your listening is behind as well, they're just going to focus on your listening. Chair can't really do much in that situation. Unlucky with a snipe. So why has this game gone the way it has? Why has this game gone the way it has? Just in the first 8 minutes, you can see the issues that you've had. Your jungler hasn't farmed correctly, and he's not rotated enough to soak up experience. He's been too busy trying to gank Typhlosion on the right side, this Osiris, and help out there. Instead, he's not farmed the right way. You stole blue buff, which is great. You invaded, which is great. There were good things, but after doing that, you lost your way of thought of what you should have been doing. Blue buff should have been taken earlier. You should have been on the speed buff, not taking their back harpies. There was no reason to try and steal away those back harpies. It's not worth as much experience as your speed, as the blue buff, as your back harpies. You would have been higher level by this point. In the duo lane, Sobek should have been a lot more aggressive and been trying to put the pressure onto Kronos earlier on. Should not have bought Watcher's Gift. and should have rotated for the mid camps earlier. The reason he didn't rotate for the mid camps earlier is because they went aggressive. He had Watcher's Gift, didn't have as much tankiness as the Kumbhakana did, didn't look for the engages, you let them engage on you, which caused the issues there. Your mid Harpy fights were not good because you didn't have any control of them. Why? Because your jungler wasn't on point, because your jungler was behind. Your mid laner had been ganked early on because of the rotation from the duo lane after the duo lane got ganked from the jungler, as well as the jungler pressure in there to catch back up in experience because he fell behind early on. So this all snowballed based off that invade. The invade was good, but the decisions made after the invade is what lost you the game and put you in the situation you're in. And slowly but surely, the trickle effect is slowly happening. The snowball is starting to take effect and cause a lot of issues for the team. From this point onwards, the game's just going to snowball out of control, and there's nothing you can really do about it. You're just going to slowly keep getting picked apart. You can see right now, Jalt's at 8 minutes and he's only level 6. The enemy jungler is 3 levels higher. You can see, Are You Listening? And it's level 6 right now. The enemy support is level 10, 4 levels higher. And you check out the solo lane, even. So what have you done with those ganks onto the solo lane earlier on? You've made the lane even. The lane is even. There's no advantage there for Shanghai against Osiris. It's still the same situation it was. Even though you put the pressure on there and ganked early on, you didn't get anything out of it. What's the situation with Neith versus Kronos? Both equal level, but Kronos is coming online and he's quite happy to farm away because he's had no pressure put upon him. What you need to do in the next stages of the game, if you're going to go for invades, you need to abuse the invade a lot better than you did. You have to pick the kill up. The kill drop was a mistake, but what you did after the kill drop was also more mistakes of not going in farming your own jungle after you pushed Osiris under the tower. There was no reason to stay in the lane as long as you did. Focusing on Osiris is not a good call, especially when you've got targets like Loki and Kronos available on the map for you to try and shut down, and for a Mercury. As a Thanatos, you should know you want squishy targets. Is Typhlosion on Osiris squishy? No, he's not. Is Kronos squishy? Yes. Is Loki squishy? Yes. Is Mercury squishy? Hell yes. They should be your targets. They should have been your focus of the game as the jungler, and the support player needs to be more aggressive.